Welcome to Season 3, Episode 9 of the Central Florida Sights and Sounds podcast. In this special episode, we're commemorating the 15th anniversary of the September 11th terror attacks. Now, as you know, both Anne-Marie and I are from the Northeast and have our connections to New York and the World Trade Center, so here are our recollections and memories of that fateful day in 2001.
So, my day started out with a phone call. The phone call came about 8:40 or so. My friend Miranda called me, and she was just kind of yelling into the phone, "Where does Pete work? Where does Pete work?" And I had no idea what she was talking about because I was just waking up. I was like, "Well, he works in Manhattan." And she was like, "There's just been an attack. Go downstairs and turn on the television." And so I go downstairs of the condo I was living in and turn on the TV and watch the second plane fly into the World Trade Center. And it was one of those moments in your life where you don't really comprehend it as you're watching it, but you know something terrible has just happened. And that day was actually a friend of mine's birthday. So remember the couple of hours before September 11th, that night when I was going to bed thinking, okay, well, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to have to study for a test that I'm having at 11, and, then we'll probably go out for Kenley's birthday that night. And, of course, that never happened. So the day just kind of followed in a haze of watching CNN and trying to figure out what was happening. I was living in Columbia, South Carolina at the time, and being away from family and trying to figure out where people that I knew who lived in New York City were, where they were and what was going on with them was absolutely terrifying. And considering people didn't have cell phones like they do now, where, you have a smartphone, you have text messages and the new Facebook thing that you can mark yourself as safe, you had no idea where people were. So I went to the class that I had at 11 o'clock in the morning, where I was supposed to be taking a quiz, and I took the quiz, promptly failed the quiz because I could not concentrate at all. I go to my professor at the end of I handed in the quiz, and I told him, I was like, "Sir, I need to go. I've got friends who work in Manhattan. I need to find out what's going on with them." And he told me, "I think you need to be here." And I just could not believe he said that, and literally just walked out of the room. I just couldn't handle that class because it was the history of North Africa. And at that point, there was a lot of speculation that it had something to do with Libya, countries we were studying in that class, and there was no way that I was going to be able to sit through that class. I think after that class, I went back home, and then I went to some of my later classes in the journalism school because I figured what better way to be than be around